As you know, we usually use National Geographic magazines, but you really can make them out of anything that you find that has a nice color and the paper isn't too stiff or too flimsy. And so I'm using a page from the National Geographic. So you just lay whatever you want. These are the two pieces that we will be using. So you just lay the piece of paper, this on the page of the National Geographic, and you trace it with a felt tip marker. And of course, I should have used a lighter paper. This doesn't show very well. But then you cut the piece out. You can leave as much of the black as you want. You can make it a very thin black border or a thicker border. I have two pieces already cut out, and I'll show you how to fold them. This one you just fold it in this direction so that the points meet. As you lay it down, the wrong side is up, and then you start pleating one part at a time. You just work this back and forth. Now when you first start, your pleats will probably be a little bit bigger than mine. That's how it usually works out for beginners. And it'll seem very clumsy. And when I was learning to do it, I just felt it was a clumsy procedure. It doesn't take very long. I think the part that I dislike is looking through the magazines or calendars or whatever I happen to have on hand to find suitable pictures. But once they're cut out, it doesn't take long at all. Then you pick this up in your fingers and just work it back and forth from the center toward the tip. And we make them in several different sizes. You can cut them down as small as you wish, or you can make them the pattern larger, whatever suits your fancy. All right, now the bottom part you just lay down with the face down, and this is a pattern for this. And you start pleating I start pleating from the rounded side. If you can find some easier way to do it or any other way, that's perfectly all right. But you just have to make sure that you're kind of looking toward these two rounded areas so that you work in that direction, that it doesn't go off to the side, because I have seen that happen and the result is not very nice. Now we're ready to put the butterfly together. You use a regular pipe cleaner for that, and you can make the antenna as long or as short as you want. And the rounded part, this is the bottom part, the one that looks like a lip, and the rounded part goes up, always faces up. So you put the rounded part in first. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. You bend this part where the lip part meets, and so that the tips are straight, so that they're even. And you just lay this in here, and you lay the top part on top of this, and you measure to get them fairly even. Now this has to come down toward the right. A little too much. And then you take this either in your fingers, or if you have little pliers that you want to use, but it really isn't difficult. And you twist it 2 or 3 times so that it's fairly stiff. And again you measure to make sure that you didn't go off, because sometimes they'll move while you're working on them. And I measure this upward now. See, the points are rather even. And start fluting it to fan it out. I forgot to get the part where you sort of just curl the tips a little bit, but I have a little instrument. You can do it with your fingers just about as well. And then on the back, I buy something called Quick Stick. It's used for posters, for light objects, to make them stick on the wall. And different manufacturers have different names for it. But if you go to buy it, you tell them what you want it for, that you want it like to put a poster, a light poster on the wall, they'll know. But it's called Quick Stick Poster Adhesive. And it comes in different colors. And, well, I've only seen 2 so far. And this is as you can see, this is blue, but also comes like in a grayish. And you work it in your fingers a little bit to make it sticky, especially if it gets a little dry. This is quite sticky. And you put it on the back here, and then you put it on your wall or on a mirror or wherever you wish. And if you're making them to store away, I cut little plastic squares, or whatever shape you want, out of plastic containers. You often buy pastries, or maybe where they have like a salad bar, they have plastic containers. You just cut them out and put it on the back so it doesn't stick to something that you don't want it to stick to. So there's the butterfly. It's all finished.
Mention glitter.
If you want to put some glitter on, you can get some Elmer's glue, and I watered a little bit. I find Elmer's glue full strength just a little too thick, and with a brush you just brush it on lightly, and you sprinkle a little glitter on, and it really makes it prettier, but it does tend to shed a little bit in time, so you might have glitter in your house. And I do think that's all there is to it. So it doesn't take long. So long.